Hey everybody, we have fun here. I'm Jay.
And I'm Luke.
And today we're having fun watching My Hero Academia Season 6, Episodes 23, 24, and 25. Deku vs. Class A young woman's declaration, and no man is an island.
It's so over.
So over.
Season 6 is over.
We're done.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Yep. I mean, because I was when watching these episodes, I was like, man, this felt shorter in the manga. But I'm also I'm like, because kind of winding this down, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking today about how when writing a manga, I don't think the authors should have to care too hard about what the anime is going to have to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, because you're already preoccupied with pacing things week to week and volume to volume or whatever. I don't think you need that added layer of thinking about what the anime is going to do. So It's like they wanted to end off on sort of a cliffhangery, like, oh, what's going to happen? But also we can't resolve too much, and we can't do too many things. So I feel like they had to kind of stretch out this last little bit. Or at least that's how it feels.
In their defense, I feel like the last episode did an adequate job of having just a few things to be like, whoa,
Right.
This is what's coming up. So I feel like it did a good job at the end, and like there was just a certain level to which the last two, the Deku versus Class A and the Declaration episode, could have been one episode probably.
Yeah, I think Deku versus Class 1A was, I believe, only a chapter, I think.
Yeah, and it was a whole freaking... I have really conflicted feelings about Deku versus Class A. Because on the one hand, I feel like there's a lot of time where I'm sitting there like, why do I care what the tail guy has to say? Why do I need a meaningful flashback between Deku and the tail guy? So I spend a lot of time in that space. But then the end of that episode was righteous. It was sick. Oh my god. We can talk about that later, but holy crap, that was really cool. And legitimately surprising. Like I was I guess we should just talk about it right now. There's the thing where they kind of make a super attack of sorts to sort of get Deku's obviously doing all his power-ups and shooting himself off slingshot. And so Class 1A decides to, I guess maybe they had pre-planned for a situation where Deku did such a thing. And so they put Todoroki and Bakugo in this like acid pod thing. This acid sleigh of sorts. And they all variously use their powers to projectile shoot Bakugo and Todoroki, and then obviously both of them having like fire powers are able to shoot it even further, which is super cool. And they fall off of it like freaking parts of a spaceship going off, you know what I mean? So like the whole time I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool, I get it, but why in the world are they right? Like, why is that necessary? Like, why do they have to have some sort of vehicle to shoot these two off in? And then freaking Ida comes out. And I'm like, what?
Yes! Yeah.
That was like that was a genuinely, like, surprising and cool moment. I didn't see it coming. I was just like, "Holy crap. Oh,
Oh,
Ida!"
yeah, yeah. Well, and it's like,
And
it's
then
really cool, yeah.
yeah, and then he has to say something goofy like, "Don't you know my name's Ingenium?" I'm like, "What does that mean, Ida?"
Yeah, I think, I think you probably could have
You're
said
not
something else
you're
there.
not saying anything.
I liked it because it was kind of, in parallel to Bakugo's rescue. They
Mhm.
did something quite similar there. Um
Okay, I can't remember that.
Oh, okay. Well, specifically, because Uraraka is like, or who even said this? It was probably Uraraka. It was like, yeah, I feel like Bakugo would be like really insulted if y'all went and rescued him or whatever, and that's why
Yeah, yeah.
Deku in his planning of it all was like, it's got to be Kirishima. He's the only guy who's gonna be like, yeah, I'm cool being rescued by you, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I do
So it's like,
remember,
it's
they did flashback to that with, Uraraka saying
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
he would not be cool with them saving him or whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What was really weird about the whole thing was Deku's, uh, like, obviously, they changed his alright, and, he had made a certain decision about what he had to do for this
Uh
situation, but the whole time they're acting like, "Deku, you've changed." And it's like, well, I
huh.
mean, I don't know why they started drawing him like an animal and making him look all emo and stuff, but, like, did he really do anything significantly out of character? Like, this is
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
they're
I
they're
think
acting
that
like
was
this is
really, I
like
mean,
Sasuke killed somebody or something, and they're trying to get
yeah,
Sasuke to come back after he's murdered humans or something.
true. I think you're correct in that. I mean, I guess it's more of the I get them trying to save him from himself here, from burning himself out. But yeah, you're right. He's not committed like any crimes here.
Yeah.
he's not. He's
Well,
not
just
addicted to drugs now. They're not like trying to
yeah,
trying to pull him out of that.
it doesn't feel like all that out of character for Deku. Like, of course, he might need a course correction. Maybe he needs to realize that he can't shoulder the weight all on his own, and that's okay or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I don't know. They were just acting like this was like he had transgressed in some crazy way, and like we need you to go back to who you used to be. And it's just like,
Oh
okay,
yeah, yeah.
guys.
Well, it's like, well, he hasn't transgressed anything. I guess it's the attitude of it's got to be me and by myself or whatever. I guess might be the
Yeah,
only change here. But yeah, I mean, from the very beginning, Deku's always been like, he's got the shonen anime boy grind set. Very beginning of the show,
yeah,
All Might's given him that like American dream plan to become a hero and inherit that quirk or whatever. And Deku looked at the workout plan and went, "Oh, there's rest days. I don't need those. I'm not doing that."
yeah, yeah. Sure. I mean, there's some level to which he's always kind of been a Sigma male with the Sigma grind set.
Uh-huh.
Um, but obviously he has been up to this point pretty we're all in this together High School Musical, you know?
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I think maybe that's the real thing that they're getting at here is just like, hey, Deku,
Yeah,
you know that teamwork makes the dream work, and just let's stick to that.
right. I get it. It's just like it's a very reasonable situation to like and then I felt it really bizarre to have a whole episode where it's like we need each other or whatever. We need you to
Mhm.
come back. It's totally safe. Everyone wants you to come back. And then
Yeah.
immediately spend an episode on like, "Hey, actually it turns out a lot of people don't want you to come back." I know we just talked about this for a while, but
Well, I mean,
turns out there's a mob.
well, it's like, yes, his classmates, of course, would like him to come back, But yeah,
Yeah.
maybe the public doesn't, but
Also, quite frankly, I'm upset that we didn't at least get a couple of episodes of the initial plan, which was for them to all join his street gang and start just being vigilantes together. That would have been sick.
that would have been a fun, like, tangent to go on for a little bit, and then all of them go,
Yeah.
well, we need to, well, I mean, I guess at that point, why would they all go back then? They would just all be vigilantes together.
Yeah, I think that would have been a cool angle to tackle for at least a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, one the thing is, if they found shelter or something or whatever, and they all worked that out, yeah, they could all been vigilantes together. That would have
Yeah,
been cool.
they probably could have set up in, like, a building or something and done, like, a Titan Tower situation, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Well, they got Deku's danger sense. They can have him as the alarm bell. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
stay here.
Yeah, so I don't part of me
They probably shouldn't have
I
even
get
brought it up. They shouldn't have
yeah,
given that
yeah.
as a possibility.
Yeah, they really should have just if what the author needed was for, you know, Deku to go back to school and everyone to be together again.
Oh,
Should have been a little more straightforward with that because man, that would have been awesome.
oh yeah.
I would have loved a full on vigilante arc for everybody.
Oh yeah.
Cuz really
That would,
we only got like a couple episodes here with Deku as a vigilante.
you're correct. Yeah. He doesn't stray that far when Deku strays.
Yeah. Man, I mean, I would have liked to see a little bit more cuz
Mm,
yeah, it's just like Deku decided that he was a danger to everyone, so he left. And that and then he stayed out for a couple of days and started looking like an animal or whatever, and they're like, "Hey man,
yeah.
come home."
Well, I think it's been how long has it been since the breakout at Charters? It's been like at least a month.
Yeah, they said that they figured out from the communication in that last episode that
Yeah.
uh that Shigaraki was going to be complete in like 38 days. That was what the communication was saying. And now
Yeah.
they're saying that that means it's 3 days from the present.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, he's probably been out there for, like, a
A couple
month,
weeks at
30
least,
days,
right? Yeah.
something, you know? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's super insignificant, but it doesn't feel it feels less significant show-wise, you know what I mean?
Oh, sure. Well, and it's like, it's like, and that's always the problem with shonen sometimes, or at least like looking back and forward at these things where I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, man, we gotta move along. We gotta get this story going. I want it to end. But then there's also sometimes where it's
Mhm.
like, oh, I kind of wish we had stayed in this moment a little bit longer or whatever. We could have
Yeah,
lingered on this a bit more or something. But that's
the
just the
pro and
problem.
con of the arc style is that
Mhm.
if you hit an arc you don't love, it's not gonna last super long.
Yeah.
But if you hit an arc you do love, it's not
It's
gonna
not gonna
last very
last
long.
very long. And if you're a
So,
One Piece fan, you're gonna be in an
yeah.
arc for how long was Wano? Like 5 years, I think.
You don't ask me.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to remember. I think it was it like 5 or more. I can't remember. It was like 4 or 5
That's
years.
crazy.
Yeah, it's
Were
was
there at
in
least arcs within arcs for that?
it was a 3-act structure.
Holy crap.
Yeah. It's
Over 5 years?
yeah.
How
Well,
many
and then like
chapters?
it's interesting how much happens, but also it's so like recently with One Piece, he makes things too brief sometimes, in my opinion. Again, this whole like
Mhm,
sometimes you want to stay in a moment longer or whatever. Like there's like he gave a character a flashback that lasted like a few chapters or whatever. And I
mhm.
just felt like he didn't linger on any of those moments as much as he would have back pre time skip. Like he doesn't let
Back
anything linger.
pre-time skip.
Yeah,
hundreds of
just
thousands of chapters ago.
the joys of 2002.
Yeah.
Back in the good old days.
Goodness gracious.
Yep. But yeah, I just where was I going? Yeah, so yes, it's the kind of whole back and forth of sometimes you want things to last a little longer, other times, you're like, oh, let's wrap this up because again, we have 100 chapters in front of us now, like
What?
that need to be covered.
Excuse me?
Yeah, dude, I've told you there's like we're around chapter 300 right now is being covered
Yeah.
in the anime. We have about 100 chapters in front of us now.
Right.
So it's not going to wrap up with
There.
season 7.
That's awful. Why would
It's probably
they?
going to be like season 8. Well, again, like it's like there's so much to do, and I understand Horikoshi's been trying to wrap up here.
Does anyone in any anime know how to like end a story?
Demon Slayer ended in 250 chapters.
Nice.
But I don't
This
like
is why
Demon
I like
Slayer as
this is
much.
this is why I like Evangelion, you know?
Oh, sure. Well,
26
when it's a
episodes, you're in, you're out.
well, that's the difference between an anime and a manga adaptation. Like,
Yeah.
Evangelion was an anime first,
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're like, we're gonna
That's
tell
true.
a story in 26 episodes or whatever.
That is nice.
So, but with anime and manga, it's like and I wish I liked Demon Slayer more, it being so short. But I don't know, I just don't like it as much as like One Piece or whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How long is Hunter x Hunter again?
400 chapters right now, and it's not done.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh
For the
man.
hunters, stay for the eggs.
Stay for the eggs. That's right. That's right.
but but and I think I forgot how long the anime is. I think it's hundreds of episodes.
Crazy.
And I don't know what they're gonna do with the anime. Are they gonna be like, well, we'll pick up where we left off, or did the anime have its own ending? I don't know.
It might have. I don't know.
Yeah, because
I'll never know.
Much like Fullmetal Alchemist, it had two
Yeah.
adaptations: a 1999 adaptation and 2011. And I think as they were making the 2011, which was a little more true to the manga.
Yeah.
They were like, all right, this time we're gonna do it. We're gonna tell the whole thing, much like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. And then it didn't. It didn't end.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the trouble with starting these animes before the material's done,
Yeah, I mean, it's like, because again, I love the anticipation of watching something week to week.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also kind of like, it is kind of nice when I can just sit down and read or watch all of something.
Yeah, well, it's not even necessarily that I want it all at the same time.
Just knowing that
It's
it does have an end.
Yeah. If you start
Yeah.
something that, if you start adapting a thing that's not done yet, this is what happened. This is the folly, okay? It seems to happen every time. Fullmetal Alchemist, Hunter x Hunter, Game of Thrones, all these things were like, hey, we're gonna start doing this, and hopefully the source material is done by the time we get to the ending.
Well,
And
now
then they
I
get
feel
to the
like
ending and they go like, well,
so I mean, with like Fullmetal Alchemist specifically, I don't think they set out to adapt the whole manga.
Okay, so you think
Like
from the beginning,
they knew like Fullmetal Alchemist was a monthly manga.
Yeah,
they knew this was going to go on for like a while. I think they were just setting out to make an anime. And I think they've done
Right.
that with like Soul Eater did that, and like I think Ouran High School Host Club did that. I don't think not every manga, not every anime adaptation is trying to finish the manga.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist said, "We're gonna make our own story,"
Yeah.
and they did a better job. You know, they.
Wow, I'm gonna spite you on that, man. we're gonna see if your rose-colored nostalgia goggles
Yeah.
agree.
Listen,
But I mean,
all I know is it was much more emo.
it was much more emo. I will agree on
And
that
that's what I
part.
like. That's what I
But it's
like in my
like,
anime.
well, and I feel like I don't know. I'd love to compare other anime adaptation because I feel like that adaptation in particular is so much more divergent than any other, I feel. But I don't know. I'm not all that well versed in that many adaptations. I don't know like which ones have gone super off the rails. Like, cause like I'm watching the 99 Hunter x Hunter, and they're not like changing things per se. They're just like, hey, we're gonna have an episode about this guy who doesn't get much screen time until like later, or whatever. You know, like
Sure.
They're doing a little bit more. They're stretching a few things out. They're cutting things out. They're, adding, adding and subtracting all over the place. But it doesn't feel as so strictly different as like Full Metal Alchemist was.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the creators of Full Metal Alchemist 2003 just really had a strong vision, you know?
You know what? I will agree with that. Whether or not I like loved that vision, they sure like did have a vision.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah, I gotta find that. There's like a comic of Awakawa talking about
2003.
being talking about that, and I'll have to look it up. I'll look it up like later because I don't know how long we're gonna stay in this tangent. But I'm gonna look it up. But it's basically like she was talking about when Bones was adapting Full Metal. It was her and the director, and they're like holding samurai swords. And she's like, Edward would never say that. And the director's saying, yes, you would. And then she's like, in the end, I lost some battles and won some myself. And I'm proud of the product we made or whatever,
Heck yeah.
I mean, yeah, well, and I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, the things she lost are the things that I don't like, and the things she won are the things I like. I don't know, Awakawa. Right. I don't know what she lost and won here. I have no idea.
Yeah. I think, especially with Edward.
Yeah.
I feel there's some like Luke Skywalker syndrome there, I think. Where it's like, obviously this is different with Awakawa, as she actually did create Edward. So like, I guess maybe she would have the most vision, but freaking Mark Hamill talking about how like, yeah, I've played Luke and he would never do any of the stuff he did in The Last Jedi or whatever.
It's like, yeah, but
it's
we got like
you don't know that. He's been broken.
Yeah, exactly.
Beaten down by the world,
Yeah.
It's like
yeah, and then the next movie says, nah, just kidding. He didn't feel that way. What?
Yeah. It's like I go back and forth on this idea that like sometimes we need characters that never lose hope.
Oh,
There's a part of me that believes in like some sort of ideal, that believes that it's good to have like idealized entities in stories specifically because stories are sort of the stories and connecting ourselves to stories is how we sort of transcend and sort of tap into some of that idealization. So sometimes the overemphasis on having like realistic stories to me is missing some of the point of story. But at the same
I see, I
time,
see. Mm.
sometimes I think that story can be illuminating in a way that is realistic, that does show someone get beaten down, but then, like, come back or something, you know what I mean? It's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it
no,
it
I get that.
it's a tight line to walk, I feel.
Mhm,
Idealization can sometimes go too far, but sometimes it instills hope. Sometimes you have the character of Luke Skywalker, and people really gravitate and hold on to the fact that he had hope in the face of darkness. And then when they come
mhm,
back and do a sequel where he loses hope, that's really devastating for a lot of people because that was what
mm.
Luke Skywalker was. He was the one who had hope in the face of dark, that sort of thing. And
Oh,
so
yeah, yeah.
I kind of see Edward Elric as maybe a similar character. I think Awakawa, at least from what I know of the manga and what I know of some of the complaints back and forth about like Brotherhood and 2003 and the differences there, is that like
Mhm,
Ed is portrayed by Awakawa as someone who gets his teeth kicked in a lot, but he never gives up,
mhm.
that sort of thing. And 2003 Ed is very doom and gloom, give up. At least at some point.
Uh-huh.
I would argue that
Yeah,
he
I
still
mean
never gives up,
yeah.
he still makes it through in the end,
Oh,
but
sure.
he has a good little depression arc there, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I feel like both Edwards are pretty gloomy in my opinion, but I mean,
Yeah,
it's
well, it's the difference
yeah.
between gloomy and despairing
Uh-huh,
and like a realist pessimist who kinda he sees all the flaws, but he continues to engage anyway, you know what I mean?
uh-huh. Oh, sure, yeah.
They're both, that's why I'm saying it's such a fine line for these things because like,
Mhm.
Awakawa being like, "Edward would never do that." I'm imagining that's maybe some of the situations where Edward is, like, really succumbing to despair.
Right, well, again, I have no idea what she was referring to in that.
Sure, sure,
Yeah.
I'm speculating.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah,
heavily
yeah, yeah.
speculating.
Yeah, well, no, what's interesting, I remember, like, a while ago, I had heard somebody say something along the lines of, "People who like Brotherhood more tend to like manga more, and people who like
Mhm.
full the 2003 more tend to like anime more," which
Yeah.
is very true of the two of us.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know. It's all interesting. We'll see how you feel about everything when we actually do watch it because you said you
True.
probably don't remember a ton about either.
Oh, yeah, it's been a long, long time. I'm watching Twin Peaks again for the first time.
Yeah,
Uh, again, well, we so
we
I need your
started
help
Twin
here.
Peaks so
Yeah, how
long
far
ago.
did we make it into Twin Peaks,
At
when
least
we
a
watched it?
season.
Yeah, we watched that first season, which was 8 episodes,
Yeah.
and then I'm pretty sure we made it to episode 7,
Uh huh.
which is when they, really prematurely reveal the killer. Do you remember
I
that?
do remember revealing the killer. Yes.
Yeah, and then I feel like we must have immediately stopped after that because we're getting
Yeah,
into
I
the
don't remember much
episodes
after.
past that, and
Uh huh.
I'm totally like, I'm watching a new show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what year was that even? Like when we were watching it, I can't remember.
I don't know. I feel like I can't remember where we were at that point.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. I had gotten the Blu-ray set.
Wait, was some of that at the old house?
I think it might have been.
Yeah, I think we started. That must have been like end of community college for me.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it's been even longer since I've watched pretty much any Full Metal Alchemist, so
Yeah, well, and, like, I know I did a rewatch of 2003, but well, probably both. back in college, so it's actually pretty. And once I've seen something twice, I feel like it's like locked in. But
Sure.
you know, and also
We'll
just
see.
the way that I watch things is very obsessive and over again, and
Okay.
that was the fun of watching that, especially middle school. Was like getting into the manga and rewatching the old series and going, "Whoa, look at all the differences." Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't like all
Nice.
these differences.
Nice.
I don't like all of them. I like some of them. I don't like all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a little preview of our Full
What
Metal
the
Alchemist
next
season.
two like year is gonna be about.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll talk more about Full Metal Alchemist at another date.
Yes. So we gotta
Um,
have at least one long tangent in this,
yeah, of course. Yeah, that's
Is
our
this over and you're not gonna be able to
alternative
hear
title
us
is
talk? You're not gonna get to hear us not talk about My Hero Academia as much as we don't.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what we got on this tangent from.
Oh, from well, yeah. Why? Why did we get on this tangent?
Were we talking about like Deku's character difference or whatever?
Maybe I don't. I don't even remember. I don't even. I think I was talking about the troubles of adapting anime, and
Oh,
then I
sure,
got
sure.
on to Full Metal Alchemist.
2003. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because again, I don't think they set out to adapt the whole
Sure.
show, but yeah. So
Yeah.
this is what back to one of the things where Bones actually does want to adapt the whole thing. Hooray!
Hmm.
Um, My Hero Academia.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that yeah, Deku being back with the group is interesting, but it
Uh-huh.
kind of cuts the legs a little bit out from under the Dark Knight that we were sort of entering into.
Oh, sure. But I mean, the
It kind
show's
of feels
always been
like,
kind of like it's going to be the collective that saves us.
yeah, it has always been that way, but has it been better for it?
I don't know, it works for me.
Do we really need Mineta or Tape
Well,
Guy
okay, I mean, well,
or Animal Talking Guy?
it's that Deku cares about these people, and
Sure,
I do
I
too.
get that.
I like the tape guy. I like the tail guy.
I was
Mineta,
just
I can
like,
give or take.
there was there was the scene where they had Coda. Coda's his name, right?
Yeah,
He
animal
talks to
guy.
animals, he
Yeah,
controls
yeah,
animals or something.
yeah,
Anyway, they had him running down, and swarming Deku with like geese or something, And
yeah,
I was just like, man, Coda, you could be dead in moments.
yeah.
You're so useless.
He's got the power of animals, though. Like,
Yeah. I would really there's a few characters that I would be very okay with having as casualties in the inevitable invasion of Shigaraki.
yeah, but that would make Deku sad.
It would make
I don't
Deku
want my
sad, but it
employee
would
to
make
be sad.
it would make me happy.
Man, well, it's like I don't need every single character to be amazingly important.
Sure.
It's fine to have flat characters in this, flat against round.
Yeah, I
If
guess.
everybody was super significant, this manga would be even longer, Luke.
Yeah, which is dumb. Just cut the fat.
But it's like, I need some meandering of sorts.
Yeah. I also
Because
loved
like,
that like
mhm.
I I couldn't tell if uh what's her name? Jiro? I couldn't tell if Jiro was suggesting that they get the band back together.
There was a moment of like, wait, I don't remember them getting the band that together to be like, hey, let's deck you into the place.
Yeah, they were like,
Yeah,
it sounded like she was suggesting they do like a Unity concert or something, you know?
yeah, that kind of that did kind of feel like it was rolling up to that.
Yeah. I'm almost disappointed that it didn't happen.
Oh yeah, they gotta get the band together now.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was more of a in spirit, like, guys, we've banded together
Yeah, she was saying,
before,
like
and now yeah,
that time where we
yeah,
showed them our stuff. Like,
yeah,
I mean, you guys played music. That was cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
good going.
Mhm. In the face of, terrorism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so true. But yeah, I was very disappointed that the declaration of the young lady was not the declaration of love that it should have been, you know?
Yeah, it's like, "Listen, Deku, the world's ending, but maybe we should go see a movie sometime."
Yeah, you know?
If we
Well,
both survive this, let's go see a movie.
I'm sure they've got some sort of entertainment facilities at UA during this trying time.
Yeah.
You don't think they're not setting up a projector and in some classroom and watching movies, you know, that
I mean, yeah, probably.
movie sales were at their peak during the Great Depression, you know?
Oh, true. True.
Yeah,
There we
people
go.
needed stories and entertainment to survive.
True. But they've only
Yeah.
got 3 days to prepare for Shigaraki.
Yeah, listen, you know, I'm not saying that they gotta watch, Killers of the Flower Moon, you know? It doesn't
Uh-huh.
have to be
Yeah.
3.5 hours, but you could get in a tight, Fargo or something, you know?
Isn't Fargo also kinda long?
No, it's like an hour and a
Is it
half-ish,
really?
I
I
think.
thought it was a much longer movie in my mind.
No,
Hold
it's
on.
not. It was not very long.
I'm looking up that runtime.
They could watch Jim Carrey's The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, you
Oh,
know?
there we go, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right, it is an hour and 30. I don't know why in
Yeah,
my
it's
mind
an
that's
hour
like a
30.
long movie. I don't know why in my mind it is. It's been
It's
a
not.
while.
It felt very succinct. I enjoy
Yeah,
that
hour and a
movie.
half. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, yeah, so they can watch Fargo, sure.
Yeah, you know? Maybe not the
How
most
romantic.
uplifting movie,
Yeah,
you
yeah, I
know?
was about to say.
But, I'm just saying like that.
Oh,
Something quick and
sure.
easy.
Sure.
I really wanna see No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, you wanna see that?
I love J-Law, and
I like J-Law too, but I don't know. I don't think any of those trailers have made me go, "Yeah, I wanna see that."
it looks like it could be funny enough.
Uh-huh.
She's very
Oh, sure.
good as a comedic, actress.
Oh, sure.
They don't use her for that as much as they ought to, the industry.
Correct. The industry.
But I had also been thinking about trying to find a place where I can watch all the Hunger Games movies.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's such a specific time, and it just
Yeah.
spun off so much crap.
Well, because
When
there's a
the
new one
Hunger
out.
Games
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I'm saying that, like, the dystopian genre was changed forever after that, because I
that's
feel like the
true.
Hunger Games did it really well. Like, it was
Yeah, I
succinct, it
think
was
so.
3 books, and, and then they had to do that thing where they split up the last movie because that's the thing everybody has to do now that Harry Potter did it.
I heard the director regretted that.
Oh, I imagine. Like, it's like, "You gotta
Yeah.
stop it. You gotta stop it, guys. Just make a long movie, it's
Which
okay."
they got the same director back
Mm.
for this Hunger Games movies,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the new
yeah.
one. So,
Mm.
maybe it's good. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't say I've been super interested in it, but, I've heard some, like, okay buzz about it.
Yeah, I've gotten I got the bug.
Got the J-Law
I just
bug.
keep I got the J-Law bug. I really wanna watch it for some reason. I don't know.
Oh, sure. Oh, why not?
J-Law's not even in this new one.
You should not, no.
Did you listen to the new Olivia Rodrigo song for it, though?
Oh, I have not.
She's in her Sufjan era.
She's in her Sufjan era. In what way?
Yeah. I feel like it's a folky song, and it feels
Uh-huh.
like it feels Sufjan-ish in its
Okay,
folkiness.
I saw this had come out, but I didn't listen to it.
Yeah.
Is it the Can't Catch Me Now?
Yeah. Yeah. Are you listening right now?
Yeah.
Are we gonna do live commentary?
Oh, yeah, you're right. This is very Sufjan.
Yeah, no, wait till you get to the part where there's vocal flourishes that even sound
Mm.
Sufjan-y to me.
Oh, yeah. I'll advertise this finale as with even more tangents than ever before.
Well, we gotta for the finale, right?
Oh, you're right. This chorus is very Sufjan.
Right? Doesn't it feel Sufjan-y?
Wow. Okay, I'm not gonna listen to the whole thing on here, but
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I just wanted to see what you meant by in her
Yeah.
Sufjan era, you know. But and
There's
I get it. That could be on
yeah.
Seven Swans.
Yeah, it felt very Sufjan-y to me.
Yeah.
And just yeah, even later in the
Good for
song,
her.
there's these, like, vocal layers and stuff that almost sound
Mm,
like maybe some of his more, high-pitched sorta stuff. I don't know.
nice.
It was great.
Yeah.
But
I'm into it.
if Olivia Rodrigo is a part of it, I'll go see it.
Contender for album of the year for Luke.
Yeah.
Certainly up there.
I do enjoy Guts. It's a
Mhm.
good album.
It is a good album.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so no, the declaration was not Deku, I love you. It was, hey, can you like cut this guy a break?
Yeah. It's just like it was good. Like, it was
uh
nice.
Well, and again, I feel like it was a little less drawn out in the manga, and it was, or at least that's how it felt. You know,
It did feel like it
manga will
went
always.
on forever.
Yeah. It
Like,
is like this is like a
how
lot
many
of
different
monologuing.
ways I remember, like, there was a character who the guy with the weird crosses on his head or whatever,
Yeah.
and after Uraka goes on for, like, freaking 10 minutes about this thing, he
Uh-huh.
goes like, "So basically you're saying," and then explains the
Means what?
message in, like,
Yeah.
one sentence, and
Yeah.
everyone goes like, "Huh, yeah, that does make sense," and I'm like, "Wow, we could've
Like, they just needed
we
a
could've
man to
really
say it.
achieved a lot of this," yeah. Or I don't even know if it was that, it
Yeah,
was
I
just
don't know.
like
It's yeah, it's one of those like, oh, when you put it that way.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
this coulda been achieved and done away with so much faster,
Yeah, and
is all I'm
and
saying.
again,
It's
you
just
don't
it's
feel
drawn out.
time. Yeah, you don't feel time as much when you're reading manga, and I feel like, you
True.
know, I just don't feel like this went on that long in the manga. I'd have to compare like page
Yeah.
count and stuff here, but like I just feel like that got over like so quickly. But again, they have to keep cutting to Deku and cutting back to her and back to Deku and and everybody's sobbing, you know, and
Yeah.
and it felt like kind of an eternity. I did not like love the pacing of this episode.
Yeah. I mean, that's very fair.
Yeah.
Um, it's not the highlight here.
No.
I think the best part was the end, the last
Hmm.
episode here. Um, even though it kind of went around in a lot of weird and interesting directions. I loved Stain showing up.
Yes, yeah.
I love that Stain showed up and he's like the only one who believes in All Might. You know?
Yes.
That was
I like that
really
too, that was
cool.
great. Yeah, yeah.
And they had the lady who he saved coming to clean the statue.
Yes, yep, yep, yep.
That was really cool. Yeah, I just that was a beautiful little moment of hope that went over for me a lot better than
Mm.
Uraraka trying to do a speech or whatever. You
Yeah.
know?
I think, well, A, it wasn't a monologue, B, it was nice and, like, low key, and, it's like, "Look, All Might, you're still, like, affecting people even though you
Yeah,
are no longer, what you were before,"
I
and
had I had forgotten that Stain was so based, you know?
his ideals are pretty base, but they're also like,
Yeah,
"And if I just kill enough people,
you
maybe
know?
society will be better." You know? But
Sometimes
he was also very, like, a lot of heroes are kinda messed up, and, you know what? He gets backstory in Vigilantes.
he's kinda I would love to see the backstory.
Oh,
He
yeah,
almost reads to me like a Rorschach
yeah. Mhm,
where, the author is trying to be like, "Look at this person with their, strict adherence to their ideals to the point that they would hurt other people
mhm.
for those ideals. Look how bad that is." And
Yeah.
I'm sitting here like, "Man, those guys are based."
Right, right. I mean, like,
Yeah,
it's like his ideas are good in that, yes, a lot of pure society is very, very, very messed up. But he's like,
sure.
my solution is to just kill as many heroes as possible because only All Might's the ideal here. He was the only one doing it right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously it's kind of a cynical take and
Uh-huh.
it's less impressive like the um one of the reasons Rorschach is so impressive in Watchmen is
Mhm.
that literally every other hero in that movie is not a hero. They're like a
Hired gun,
tempestuous
essentially, right?
child,
Yeah, yeah.
they're all insecure and have
Mhm.
no strong moral standings.
Oh, sure,
And
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
like even if you don't like Rorschach's morality, you can look at
Mhm.
him and be like, "Well, there's a guy who never compromised in his ideals."
Oh, sure, like, having an ideal, mm, just being the baseline there, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But I mean, he stuck to it more diligently than even, some others. Like it was still an extreme holding to the ideal, but in a
Mhm.
world where nobody had any ideals. And so
Right, right, yeah, so
that was
that's what
kind
I'm
of the
saying is that he
standout.
baseline has ideals when nobody
Yeah.
else, like, does it or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. But so for Stain, it's less impressive because everyone's a shonen anime protagonist
Yes.
who has ideals and will never compromise on them, mostly because the author has decided that those ideals are the ideals that win, you know?
Uh-huh. Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, yeah.
So it's like it's a little more rigid of a world, and so Stain kind of stands out less, but I find him a Rorschach-like character that I
Mhm.
appreciate the adherence to an ideal in a way that feels there's something about the willingness to live and die and kill, for your ideal
Mhm.
that there's a hint of something there, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Where
yeah.
it's just like, man, I mean, say what you want about Stain, but he believes, you know?
Oh,
He's a
yeah, no,
believer.
he
And
he is
and
very
I think
much like, yeah.
And I think that's the reason why he has to be the one to come back and pull All Might back up, you know?
Yes. Oh,
Because
absolutely.
it's like Stain believed in All Might so hard he killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, no, well, he's like, you are the only one doing this right, and I'm just gonna get rid of everybody else who isn't," and he's like, "I
Yeah.
truly do want a better world." Like,
Yeah, yeah.
he wants it, and he wants it that bad.
Yeah, he's a very compelling anti-hero, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so I really love that scene way better than Uraraka's scene.
Yeah, and it's like, even, like, I love Lucy Christian, and we'll hear her talk all day, but, even
Mhm.
she couldn't, like, save that for me.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I liked some of the chill out scenes with the boys, with the
Yeah.
fans, with the
Yeah, just
friends.
hanging. Yeah.
That was cool, it was nice to see. I guess my hero to me tends to, maybe I'm wrong, you'll have to let me know,
Out here?
but it seems like it tends to end with some reprieve.
Right.
Its seasons. There's usually like, something's looming on the horizon, certainly, but like
Mhm.
we're all together and we're all chilling,
Yeah, I
sort
mean,
of.
that's how a lot of arcs have ended, with, like,
Yeah.
the Christmas episode was, like, capping off an arc, and
Yeah.
everybody's together eating and stuff, and then, like, the end of, the, post-overhaul, school festival arc was kind of a wind down, even with Deku fighting somebody, but then at the end, they all play music together.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so, yeah, this is that moment again. It's like, yeah, we're all here in this together, hanging
Yeah.
out, put a
Yeah, so
blanket
it's
on
like
Deku.
it's definitely a lot of, they got the sunshine,
Yeah,
little bit of
yeah.
sunshine in there.
Yeah, the rain stops finally.
But then, then they have I thought it was so weird that they have, like, All Might just, like, hanging out with some cops.
That's Naomasa Tsukauchi, who has been in the story for a very long time, actually.
Well, I didn't remember him, so, like, all of a
So
sudden,
that
All Might
guy,
rolls up to talk to some cops for a little bit.
yeah, that Detective Tsukauchi, he's one of the few people that knows before all this, he's one of the few people that knows about One for All.
Oh, okay. I was, like, really confused. I thought we were just entering a period where it's like, now that UA High,
Uh-huh.
Class 1A knows about One for All, now we're just
Everybody.
gonna start talking about One for All the time and with no regard for who might hear about it.
No, 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 no. This guy's known for quite some time.
Okay.
And we've known this from like season 2 when he was introduced. He was like,
Mhm.
by the way, Midoriya, this is one of the few people that knows.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha. It's been a
yeah.
long time.
I know it's been a while for you. I need to like edit to get, have you ever heard of One Piece?
No.
That's One Piece but edited.
Mhm.
And so it's like One Piece edited like way down.
Okay.
Um
Edit all the dumb crap out.
yeah, well, I mean, I did all the filler episodes out, and then I think sometimes like cutting scenes out and stuff, which I'm like, when you get down to it, it's like, at what point like things are adapted the way that they are for a reason. I understand skipping filler episodes, but
Yeah.
it sounds like sometimes they're cutting out what is considered non-essential, but sometimes scenes are there
Mhm.
for a reason, for atmosphere, for impacts.
Sure, sure.
But yeah, so if I could like edit like a summary movie for you or something.
Yeah. That'd be funny.
Yeah. Oh boy. I have to
But
find some
yeah,
I'll have to make that for you.
they reveal that maybe there's a radio quirk going on,
Right,
and
yeah.
that Shigaraki is 3 days away from being completed.
Yes. Correct.
So that's great.
Yep,
Very
really
excited.
moved that timeline for them. They thought they had another month.
Yeah, and
It's like, oh, it's 3 days actually.
to be clear, I don't know if All Might has shared that with Midoriya and Uraraka yet. So they
Yeah, I
could be
don't
watching a
think
movie,
Deku
you know?
knows.
They could be watching a movie, hanging
Yeah.
out.
They could be hanging out. Well, I'm sure they're hanging out.
Yeah.
I just don't think Uraraka is saying, like, we are an item now.
Yeah.
You
Unfortunate.
know? But I'm sure they're hanging out. I'm sure the squad is all together, you know?
Unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, trying to think of what all happened here, you know. I watched these the night previous, you know.
Mhm.
Do I have any screenshots that are pertinent? Yeah, no, I don't. Not anything. I didn't take anything from the last episode. That's because yeah, it's kind of the wind down, and we now have foreign intervention. Yeah, like the UN or whatever meeting.
Nice. Oh,
So we
yeah,
got
with the,
American hero Stars and Stripes.
yeah.
Yeah, just a big old buff lady.
Yeah, she's very into America.
Yes, as all Americans are. Huzzah!
Yeah. I couldn't remember, I don't know if I remember 2 heroes at all.
Okay, Stars and Stripes
Yeah.
is not in Two Heroes, by the way.
Oh, okay. Was that the one where they went to America?
They do not actually go to America in that one. They go to Island, which is a
Yeah.
moving territory. But Dave is from America, and so is Melissa. And
Gotcha.
there's a flashback. I guess the beginning of the movie is young All
Mhm.
Might during like
Yeah.
college years or whatever,
Before
hero
his eyes
college.
were sunken in.
Yeah, before his eyes were sunken in, and he's like in California or something.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Detroit smash.
Detroit Smash, man. It's like so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why All Might is so American themed. He studied abroad and
Uh-huh.
estimate that everybody else's problem.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep. Maybe Deku will take a gap year in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then subsequently make that his entire personality.
Well, I mean, he's already made All Might his entire personality.
That's true.
What more
Yeah.
could you learn?
It's kind of cringe calling your attack Detroit Smash when you haven't even been to Detroit, you know?
Wow.
At
Call out
least
post
at
for
least All
Deku for
Might
cultural appropriation.
at least All Might's been to America, and I'm guessing he went
True.
all over the place, you know? I'm guessing,
Yeah,
like,
I don't
when
know.
he
He may have just stayed in California.
maybe. I don't know. He can
Yeah.
kind of, like, he can go places. He's very
He
strong.
can go places. He is strong, yeah. He's strong and
And
fast.
he can leap tall buildings in a single bound, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he's basically just Superman, so yeah, he could do
Yeah.
that.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's like I imagine, you know, he went to all these places or whatever, and he's like, you know, when I search this particular way, it
Yeah.
really feels like Detroit to me, you know?
Right. Well, I mean, in the movie, he did have a California smash or whatever.
Yeah.
Um and it was specific, you know, it was dedicated to his friend Dave, you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. But no,
So
Stars and Stripes was not in the movie, so we not
gotcha. Okay.
connected. That's a
I
new
was
character.
confused. I was like, am I supposed to know who that is?
No,
Because
I think
she's
it's
very
that's just like
off-putting to me.
You just can't handle a strong woman, okay?
I guess not. I guess not.
No, she's very All Might-esque,
Mhm.
in silhouette.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very true. But yeah, so she's coming for some reason.
it's coming. Well, for an intervention, they're like, Japan is not doing well, and neither is anywhere else, apparently.
Does she have All Might's power, or what's her
No.
deal?
You'll see her deal.
Is she just super strong?
No, she actually has a very specific deal.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see if Funimation ever makes this, Bones ever makes this 7th season.
I mean, it's been confirmed.
Where is it?
Well, I mean, it's being made by people.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we don't even have to care about when it's coming out because we're gonna talk about Full Metal Alchemist for like a year.
That's true.
Yeah,
A
and
lot
like,
of Full
and
Metal
I'm pretty
Alchemist.
sure My Heroes come out like I think nearly yearly. I think
Mhm.
like
Okay.
they've been on pretty good pace here,
Mhm.
in my opinion. Uh, so yeah, it'll come out when it comes out, but yeah,
Yeah. And we'll be here
and we'll be
after
here
Full Metal Alchemist.
after Full Metal Alchemist. Yes. So I'll make a separate playlist.
Nice.
What else here? What is left to be said here?
I think that's most of it, right?
Yeah, I think
Did I
that's
miss
like
something?
it. I don't want to do a whole blow by blow
Yeah,
here.
they all smiled at each other for a long time.
Yeah, they did.
Remember that montage where Deku looked at all the smiling faces of his friends for a long time?
Yes, I do.
That's yeah, that's about what these episodes amounted to.
Yeah, I I like Class 1A. I just want to put that down for the record.
Okay.
Even though I know Luke doesn't find joy in these things, I do.
I'm a class 1A hater.
Apparently.
Just give me Bakugo, Todoroki, and Deku, and we're good.
No Ida, no Uraka, no.
I mean, Uraraka's there just to hang out with Deku.
Wow, way to reduce her character, man.
And she makes things float occasionally.
Oh god. You're just like the fan polls. You're the reason that we don't get enough Ida anymore.
Yeah, I gotta admit, Ida's kind of cringe.
Yeah, but I mean, it's it's shonen. It's everything's cringe.
Yeah,
It's all sincere.
I wish him the best, man.
Yeah, I guess that about wraps that up.
It was really cool when he popped out of that glob of acid. That was sick.
Yes, it was sick. It was great.
That was very cool. And
Reaching
then there were
out
like,
to his bestie
what's
Deku.
that? There's some other iconic scene where like two people are falling from the sky and like holding hands or whatever. What is that?
Oh, I'm thinking Spirited Away.
Yeah, they did the Spirited Away.
Yeah, they kind of did there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Good old. I like that falling motion. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
falling with style.
Falling with style.
There's no episodes left. How do we close this thing?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess I'll just say join us next time as we watch Full Metal Alchemist. But it's probably got to be
Yeah.
it, right? Yeah.
Let's see. Did you send something or?
Oh no, I was about to like. I thought that this would paste the image, but it's pasting a link. Oh, there we go. Okay, it did paste the image. Yeah, that reminded me of that. I showed you that several episodes ago.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
falling.
based.
Yeah.
I love that.
So, yeah. Oh, for
Uraraka and
audio
Deku.
only listeners, we're looking at that like one art of Deku and Uraraka that Horikoshi did for that gallery thing.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Deku and Uraraka forever.
Yep, he's rooting for them. Rooting for the end game.
Yep.
I'll make sure in our mini tangents I will let you know, because we're gonna get on tangent of Full Metal Alchemist 2. I assure you. Don't worry, listeners. We'll also be off topic there too. I'll probably let you know when My Hero ends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about it. Please make it be soon.
Because then after that it'll be like in 2 years later we'll be done with the anime. Because that's how behind it is. It should be like about 2 years behind the manga.
That's terrible.
It's not though. Like I enjoy things. I enjoy long stories.
Gross.
Exploring a world.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for listening to We Have Fun here. Join us next time as we watch Full Metal Alchemist the same way, 2 episodes at a time, spoiler free. See you then.
See ya.
Oh, you're not gonna do your iconic bye?
Oh, it's bye. Bye.
There we go.